It is Parallel Frequencies with Just Blane and Coco. What's up, Coco? How are you over there?
Feeling good today. It's a great day. Friday.
Feature Friday. I love it. People love Feature Friday. We've had some great ones on here in the past. We had James Ward Burkett. Remember that from Coherence? That was
Fantastic.
Fun.
Let's get some more people to come on. Talk about their movies.
We should get some more guests. We were just talking about that. We need to get somebody. We've got Boy Meets World coming up in the future. And I think, I'm putting it out there right now, I think we can get somebody from that show to come on with us and talk to us just a little bit. We're not asking for a whole lot of time. Come on, Sean, Topanga. Let's go. Eric.
We're throwing it out there. We're throwing the cast out, fishing.
Pod Meets World. They have their own rewatch show. I love it, by the way. Danielle Fishel, Topanga, Eric, Sean, they're on there. They host it every week. It's incredible. I think we should really try to get that on.
Yeah.
You know what I found? And we've been doing a lot of talking about this one individual, and his name is Mike Flanagan. Have you seen this yet? Mike Flanagan remaking The Mist, another Stephen King book. This movie's already been out before, and I will watch this a lot. But Mike Flanagan remaking it now, that's got me hyped up for another Stephen King, Mike Flanagan crossover here. What do you think about that? Did you remember that one? Do you remember The Mist?
Oh, vaguely. I'm going to have to go back and check that out. But, just from what I know about Mist in a mythological sense now is the mists of Avalon. I mean, come on, like mists are so ethereal. That's symbolic of otherworldly stuff already. So I'm gonna have to go back and do a rewatch of that.
There's a lot going on inside of this Mist, and I hope Mike Flanagan brings it to light, because the original movie didn't really show a lot of the horrors in there. But yeah, they're all holed up in like a grocery store. There's a mist covers the town, and they're stuck because the mist will kill you. I can't wait to see these, because you know our love for Mike Flanagan and all he's been doing. I saw this and I was like, my first thought was, damn, Mike Flanagan, chill. You're putting too much stuff out. Like, relax, buddy. But no, I don't want him to. I want him to keep cranking it out.
I'm like, more. The second I watched, I think the first one I watched was The Haunting of Hill House, when he did the series on Netflix. And as soon as I watched that, I was like, more. I want more.
Yeah.
Too good.
Always want some more Mike Flanagan. But today's Feature Friday, and we've got a special one. To me, I like this movie. I caught this movie in the middle of the night one time, one of those, turned it on, and was trying to fall asleep. But the next thing you know, I watched the whole damn thing. Deadstream. It's a movie that really understood 2020 better than most therapists did. It's not Deadstream like your Wi-Fi cutting out in the middle of Netflix. I'm talking about Deadstream, the found footage fever dream about a washed-up influencer trying to resurrect his career in a haunted house. This house really looks haunted. It's a scary-looking set. I don't know where they did. They found it up in Ogden, Utah or somewhere. It's filmed right here in Utah. And there's a lot of houses out here that look like that one.
I know better than most because I grew up in one.
Nah, you're kidding with us. There's no way you grew up in a house like this.
Yep. The old family homestead that my dad grew up in was the same house my grandfather was born in, the same house that his father helped build. And I think it was built in 1988. Oh, I actually have a picture of it right here.
You got a picture of this house. Let's see this.
Very similar to the one in the movie. Can you see it?
Whoa!
There it is.
Here's the one in the
Don't
movie.
live there.
Look at this.
Same time period, right?
Is this your house that they filmed it at?
No, I would not live in that house.
No.
That house is actually haunted. But my house was haunted. We all knew it. I mean, that was just a kind of a matter of fact. In fact, when my grandfather passed away, he joined right in. We had him visiting from time to time. We know because he would turn his favorite singer, Johnny Cash, on and turn the volume up whenever we had the radio on or the stereo on. So yeah,
I
haunted.
like that. Probably still playing Johnny Cash in that house to this day.
Yeah, we should probably
No
warn
way.
the new owners. Just probably let them know, like, hey, he likes Johnny Cash. Just FYI.
Yeah, if you hear Johnny Cash playing and there's no record player in the room, don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed.
Just Grandpa.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandpa's doing his thing.
Yeah.
This movie, Deadstream, is basically a YouTube apology culture meeting demon with a Wi-Fi. Like, that's kind of what's going on here. We follow Sean, who I love this guy. I love this character. He's a disgraced content creator, canceled for being reckless, but he's trying to claw his way back to relevance. What's his solution? Let's lock myself into a haunted house and live stream the whole thing, because nothing says personal growth and apology like monetizing your own terror. So the first thing he's already putting it, too far. And Joseph Payne is the one that wrote this whole thing and directed it. I love this concept. This found footage is a different take on a found footage film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's framed like a live stream video, which I love. I think that's incredible. What did you think right off the bat from the beginning? Yeah.
Okay, so I have to say that I came to this movie because my husband's cousins we were good friends with. We were out to dinner and they were like, "Oh, you should check out this movie." We saw it like kind of on accident at a film festival. Just happened to get some tickets and went and watched it. And they said it's one of their top 5 favorites. Shout out to Chris and Jenna. If you're watching, please leave a comment and say, "That's me." You guys gave this as a recommendation. So I'm like, I got to check it out. I'll be honest, within the first 5-10 minutes of it, I was like, really? This one?
Yeah.
It was kind of like a her kind of moment. But it grows on you. I mean, Sean, the main character, you're kind of like, oh, what a goofball. Like, what? This is just crazy. But as it goes on,
Sean?
you start. Yeah. What was his name?
Was it Sean or Zach? Zach. I think I said Sean, but I think his name was Zach. One of those. I don't know.
I'm like, wait, what was it? Now you got me questioning.
I can't remember.
But yeah. Sean, right? Now you got me questioning my brain. Did I get it wrong? Do I know who's in this movie? We watched
one of those
this movie,
Mandela effects. Yeah, it's one of those Mandela effects going on. But I didn't mean to interrupt you there. What were you saying about Sean or Zach or whatever his name was?
Whatever his name is, the main character of this movie.
The main character.
Yeah, I mean, he was a bit of a goofball, but then as it goes on, you're like, oh, he's kind of funny. Oh, he's kind of clever. All right, he's got some things to say. Maybe if this was an actual YouTube video and he was streaming, I might watch it because he's kind of funny. But I loved the setup of like the streaming. He stops every once in a while at just particular moments to check the comments and just to write. It moves the story along because they're like, look behind you. I mean, they're watching the cameras. The audience is on this journey along with him. I thought it was clever. I mean, it's a pretty good concept for a horror movie.
Now, I'm a big time consumer of Twitch.tv. I got a buddy over there, Ryan McBain. That's my boy. I love watching his streams. Mm-hmm. And I watch a lot of Twitch, and I got to say that they really went into detail here on Deadstream. Joseph Payne went into detail because you're right. Like the chat on the side, there's super chat donations, comment overlays. The followers are egging him on. Mm-hmm. He's really portraying the dopamine drip of validation in real time, which is what a streamer does. I also love that it doesn't just mock the influencer culture. It kind of understands it. It's his way of being desperate to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You see that quiet panic when the numbers start to dip. That voice in your head starts whispering, do something bigger, louder, riskier.
Right.
How many of us have felt like that at some time in our life? And we're not streamers. Maybe not in a haunted house, but in our careers, relationships, and creativity.
We're all susceptible to chasing that dopamine and chasing what it feels like when, you got more and more views on something or you got likes on something on social media. Or, none of us is immune to that. But you see that in the movie when he's about to go home. He's done. He's like, I'm out of here. Yeah. And she's like, have you checked your numbers? Have you checked your views?
Yep.
And when he does, his attitude changes. Although I have to say, if this is what it takes to stay relevant and keep your job as an influencer, is putting yourself into dangerous situations and all of the things that he puts himself through, I might suggest maybe just going and getting a job. Just, try Indeed, try LinkedIn, whatever.
Yeah.
Just get a job. It might be a lot easier. Just saying.
I mean, he's already shown that he can video and make content. Why wouldn't he go be a videographer for somebody? I like that idea.
Yeah.
But you're right, he's chasing that dopamine, and there's no telling how much money's coming in on this stream because these people make insane money streaming. If you got numbers like what he had, that's a full-time gig plus some. Like that's an income that is higher than most, and there's people out there that will hate on that. They're like, oh, they don't deserve all that money. No. Those people don't realize how much work goes in the back end and what they don't see. These people aren't just sitting down at a computer or firing up a camera and saying, oh, I got a live stream, I got 1 million people watching. They did a lot of work to get there. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's any different. He's not any different in this movie. He's done a lot of work to get there. He did one crazy prank that was over the line, and it's really reflective of what goes on in real life. This is how it goes. They get the cancellation, you get the apology, you get them trying to make a comeback. Like you said, he put himself in danger. Me and you would go spend a night at a haunted house. But I can tell you right now, the first time an actual demon comes in, I'm out. I don't care how much money's on the line. I'm out of there. I came for a good time, not that.
Yeah, I think that there would be a line. I think there would be points in this for sure that I'd be like, and that's my line. I don't cross that. Yeah. I'm out of here. No money is worth it.
This kind of gets to what the real horror of this movie is, and it's not the ghost. It's not the scariest thing in the house. Scariest thing is his inability to sit with silence. He can't stop performing. Even when he's scared to death, even when he's bleeding, even when something clearly supernatural is happening, he's still performing. And I'm sitting here like, how many of us live stream our lives metaphorically? Like, how many of us are performing all the time? And we don't have to. Why can't many of us feel like we can't just sit without broadcasting it in that quiet silence? There's something beautifully uncomfortable about this in the movie to me.
Yeah. What it would mean to just live our lives. And it was just for us, just what we want to do in that moment. And we're not going to get any validation for it. And it's not going to be someone confirming our worth, just existing, right? But let's talk about the paranormal things in this movie, because on the one side of things, I was really impressed with it not being a big budget movie. There's not going to be a lot of like high tech special effects. We realized going into this, and I was still pretty impressed with what they were able to put out there as far as how it looked. Some of the jump scares that happened, it was exciting and it was fun to see what they put together. But I am a little confused, being somebody who understands a little bit about entities and what types of demonic or dark entities that could potentially be haunting this house. I was like, okay, so are we talking zombies, undead? Are we talking vampires want to suck your blood? Or spirits and entities of a spiritual nature? Because that's not entirely clear. Not sure if the writers of the movie really got that figured out before they decided how to make this movie scary for us, because at some points that the creatures in which he interacts with are really physical, if you will. So you're like, zombie? Not necessarily ghost.
So what do you think that the demon was? Because there was a demon in the house. So what was that one representative of?
Yeah, hard for me to pin that one down. That's a little confusing. But for entertainment purposes, we can just throw out all the, figuring out what is going on here. Is Mildred a ghost or is she an undead? Because she can at times be very physical and be physically present and even trying to bite him, eat him. I'm not really sure. What's going on there? Or does she want his soul? Is she collecting souls? Ooh. It's not entirely clear, and maybe that
snatcher.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
could be.
Mildred, the soul snatcher.
I loved when you saw the swinging visual of her, but then it was only on the camera that you could see her. So he's walking up trying to, but when he looks at it in person, there's nothing there. Stuff like that is really cool and fun.
There's some really cool effects, and you kind of touched on that. And that brings me to the setting itself, the haunted house element. Mm-hmm. It's the way they do this is cinematically very primal. You got this house, classic cursed property energy, dusty corridors, hidden rooms, creepy backstory.
Yeah,
but
it's falling apart, deteriorating house. There's graffiti on the walls, which a lot of it was completely untouched, ready to go, ready to film when they arrived. So that was pretty realistic, right?
There's no real effects and stuff. There's no cinematic safety net, no sweeping score telling you when to feel scared. It's just one guy, a camera, and the sound of something going bump in the night. That's about it. To me, that's primal. Mm-hmm. That's very primal of how they made this movie. And like I said before, I love the found footage films, like Blair Witch. That's probably your most popular, but there are so many of these out there. And I love when I see one that I'm like, oh, this is different. And this is one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
This is really one of those. This came out in 2020. And to me, it was a cultural check, too. Let's zoom out for a minute. Zoom back out, 2020. The movie dropped at a time when influencer culture felt like it was boiling over. Cancel culture debates, apology videos with a ukulele soundtrack, the constant churn of viral fame people were looking for. And here's the question. What happens when your identity is built on an audience and the audience turns? Who are you without that comment section? Who was Sean without the comment section and all them people? And that's scary to me. It really was a cultural check that's still very much relevant right now. There's people who, they're still performing all the time, and they're not being true to themselves. How do you feel about that? Do you think this really was more of a metaphor or whatever, parallel to real life in what he was showing in this movie? Because it's a comedy. This movie's funny. It's funny, but not in that, slapstick. But what'd you see there?
Yeah. Absolutely. It gives us kind of this impression of keeping ourselves and our mental self-awareness in check, because even those people who maybe aren't influencers or on social media a lot, and even I struggle a little bit with being a public figure and trying to be like on podcasting, on social media. I try to engage with my audience enough that I feel like I'm offering something to them, but I try to keep in check with, do I really need to be posting everything and every thought in my head and every, am I doing it just to try to stay relevant? Am I chasing followers? Am I spending enough time existing without it and understanding my worth without it, to where, how would I feel if it all went away tomorrow? Right? If it all went away. Yeah. So even people who are not in that kind of realm like we are, because we understand in this world of podcasting and things like that, what it means in media to be in the camera, in the people's face, and to get yourself out there. But we know how much work it takes behind the scenes. And we also have people that aren't in that spotlight, but they are very, very much dependent on the scrolling and the likes and the things that they engage with in digital media. So I'm just going to say, for mental health reasons, it might be a good idea to pick certain times and certain days where you unplug and you just exist in the world, right?
And not do 24-hour streams and stuff like Sean in a haunted house. We find this movie funny, though, and a comedy, and it's not that wink at the camera type of funny. It's we recognize that behavior, and it hurts. We've seen that. We've seen people be like this. Sean's exaggerated apologies, fake humility. Oh, my God. When he shouts out the sponsors mid-haunting, I'm like, that's hilarious. He's literally shouting at the sponsors when there's ghosts and whatever, spirits or demons around him. I thought it was great. I respected that because I can see that. I can see people like that.
You gotta shout out to the sponsors. You gotta please the sponsors no matter what. Right.
I'll be honest with you on this, though. As somebody who built a life around media, voices, platforms, this movie hits different. There's a thin line between creating to connect and creating to survive. This movie kind of holds that mirror up without blinking. It's like, well, which one? And what's the difference, really? Because when you think about it, are you doing one to achieve the other? Either one it may be. And it's a vicious circle. But yeah, this movie really hit me because of that. I mean, I've done nothing but create content for a long time. And it hit. It hit. What about you? Did you see anything in here that was reflective of you or thoughts or whatever, even if they're negative about the streamer culture or whatever it may be? What'd you see?
Yeah, I can absolutely respect the chase or the feeling of like, I want to be a relevant person, and I want, everybody has ego. Everybody has a little bit of like, this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to make money doing it. And in order to do that, it doesn't matter what happens to me, what danger I put myself in, and how scared I am. I'm going to keep that camera pointed at the right place. I'm going to have the GoPro on. I'm going to have the live streaming. I'm going to check in with my, I just have to side note the parts where he says, where are the police? It's so funny because you have a live stream going on and people watching, and he's like, please call the police. Please call the police. Yeah. Where are the police? So he's actually using his following trying to get help, and that's not working. I'm like, why isn't anybody helping him? He's got all these followers and all these people watching. Why aren't they sending the police out to get him? He's clearly in danger. But anybody can get wrapped up in that. Anybody can. I myself have, caught myself being like, I've been stuck at this many followers on my social media for a while. I would really like to grow it. I'd really like to see more going on there. I'd like to, be more relevant. I'd like to be more seen. I'd like to be whatever. But for me to check in with myself and say, what is my why? What is my why of why I'm doing this? What work and purpose do I feel like I am serving the community with? If I'm going to be relevant on social media, it's going to be because I want to offer things that help people and their lives. I don't want to just be another influencer. And maybe a little bit more of that ego side of what Sean is showing us in this movie.
And you know why the cops aren't called and don't show up? It's because, to me, that's one of the most realistic parts of the movie. Yeah. Because we live in a world that rewards spectacle. And if this ain't the greatest spectacle you could see, they're not going to call the cops. They don't want anybody intervening. They want to see how this plays out. Yeah. And I think that's really what was happening, right? with his viewers. Yeah, but we live in a world that rewards these big, crazy whatevers, I want to ask the freaks out there, have you ever felt pressure to perform a version of yourself? Online, offline, in a relationship, at a job? Drop us a comment, DM. Let's talk about that, because that's a real conversation, not about ghosts. Like, that's sincere. I want to know.
Although I'm happy to talk about ghosts too. I'm all about the ghost talk. Yeah, we would love to
talk about ghosts. I think too that this idea that he's performing the whole time, the performance is a trap. Like, Sean's tragedy isn't that he's scared. It's that he doesn't know how to stop acting scared for engagement. Like, he's got to keep on. There's a bunch of layers to that. It's uncomfortable. It's real. I kind of love this movie, too, because I love when horror movies make you laugh first and then think about it later. Yeah. And that's a lot of what this is. It's like, and then you're like, oh, wait, what if I was... Yeah. Oh, wait, what if I was a viewer? What if I was in the house? Like, you start going through all these questions of what would I do? But it's a very fun... Yeah. Thought.
Would I have been able to hold that camera up and keep shooting when I'm that terrified and I'm that engaged in something that I don't understand? Probably not. I would say I'm not that committed. I would have dropped the camera a long time ago and just tried to figure out a way to get out of there, and wouldn't have filmed any of that.
Nah, for no amount of money. What's your final thoughts on Deadstream?
I just think that they did an incredible job at putting together something that built in just the right amount as the storyline went on, built this story, built this backstory, built these moments that were just enough to be like, wait, what is that? And I had to watch it probably 2, maybe more times. I can't remember how many times I watched it, but just because there were certain moments where I was like, wait, what was that in the background? There was just enough things to be like, oh, that's intriguing. What did they put back there that isn't overtly obvious? Or, you know, again, having a score or musical clue that something was going on. There was one where like legs were disappearing into the ceiling while he's walking, and you wouldn't have caught it if you weren't watching, right? I loved that. My only critique as far as a horror film goes is less is more. I've said this on other movies too. I feel like if they had shown us less of Mildred, the demon, even the what was it? It was a parasitic twin, the little boy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did a fantastic job with the makeup and things like that. I even wrote down Michaela Kester was the makeup artist on this movie, and had to give a shout out because I think they did an incredible job at making it look like really like, whoa, what was that? That was creepy. But as far as a horror film goes, I'm always a fan of showing a little bit less, just a flash of things or just a in the background kind of, because if they really show it and you really look at it, then it kind of loses a little bit of its terrified intensity. So that's my only critique as far as the movie itself. But yeah, super, super fun to watch.
I like that final thought right there. It is. Yeah, horror movies do tend to be better when they have less. And this one, I think, is chaotic and messy and loud. Definitely. On purpose, because it's a self-aware film. It's self-aware in all the right ways. And underneath the jump scares or the slapstick possession energy, it's really just asking, if nobody's watching, are you still you? Mm-hmm. And that's the frequency I'm on today. If nobody's watching, are you still you? And that's big. That's a tough question to answer. Whether you're trying to build something or rebuild something or just try to exist without turning your life into content, we see you. The world sees you. You don't have to live stream it. You don't have to monetize your fear. That seems awful. You don't have to be haunted for clicks. Just be present. That's a revolutionary idea right there. Just be present. It's not really, but it seems like it. It really does. And this movie does show you that, and it gets all those things under. Yeah, but
that's what we're all working towards. Yeah, that's what we're all trying to figure out in life, right?
Absolutely, and I love this movie. Actually, I think we're changing Feature Friday to Found Footage Friday from now on. We're just going to do all the found footage movies because that's my.
There's quite a few.
We're going to keep it Feature Friday, but.
Yeah, that we've been digging up, and there's some good ones coming up. We've got some on the schedule, and so we want our freaks out there to keep an eye out for more found footage horror films. Some of our favorites. We did the Blair Witch Project and things like that when we did our witch movie project, so people can go check that out. Should we tease what's coming up for next week so people can get their watch list ready for this weekend?
Let's do it. What do we got? I don't even know. I got to get my list ready. What do we got, Coco?
I'm the queen of the schedule, just so everybody knows. That's my job. That's my part to play. So Monday, to get into the romantic feeling of February, we are going to continue that with the movie Together.
Woo! I'm excited.
Is it romantic or is it horrifying?
A little bit of both. Yeah. But I'm excited for that one, so I can go ahead and rant about Allison Brie and how she should have beat that damn dog Indy in that other movie. But yeah, go ahead. What else we got next week?
Yeah, we can chat about that. And we're going to wrap up Pluribus. So we've been doing episode by episode. We're going to do a full episode 4 through 8, wrap it up, because we have more Tube Tuesday coming up that's going to move on to other fantastic TV projects. So stay tuned for our, if you haven't got all caught up on all of the episodes of Pluribus, this is your chance. Binge watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, we are going to do a tribute to Catherine O'Hara. So we're going to talk a little bit about the projects that she has done: Wistful Wednesday, Schitt's Creek, and some of the movies that she's been in. We're going to do a little overview of her, just because with her passing away, we just can't not, right?
No, I agree. I love it. I think we should. And then Trailer Park Thursday as usual. And then what do we got on Feature Friday?
Feature Friday, we're going to do a twofer. We're going to do a double. It's going to be Black Phone 1 and 2.
Ooh. So once again, I get to bitch and moan about that damn dog Indy winning that award over Ethan Hawke. Because Black Phone 1 and 2, yeah, he is incredible. And I can't wait to break that one down. That's going to be fun. What a week we got prepared. We're going to keep doing that for the freaks every week. We'll tell you what's coming up in advance. We'll try to keep you updated so you can watch before we talk about it, and then we don't spoil it for you. Because I know some of you out there, some of our freaks are reckless, and they do listen to us, and they haven't seen what we're talking about. That's okay. You can pause it, and you can always come back to us. We're going to still be here. You know, so parallel frequencies. It's Just Blane and Coco. We'll see you on the other side.